We
All
are
right, good.
live. We are live.
All right. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Hey, everybody. How's it going? I am Trevor,
I'm Dan.
and we are the Boy Wonders. And this is our podcast. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is going to be a weekly recurring podcast with a little bit of, I guess, there will be some time off occasionally, like every third Saturday, something like that. We'll let you
Yeah.
guys know if we're not going to be here. But what we're planning to do is just to talk shop. We're gonna talk comic books. We're gonna talk the comic book industry. We're gonna talk about comic book movies because they're putting out a new movie or a new show every other month. Even though Disney Plus has kind of reined it in a little bit, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is what we're about. We'll have some segments, etc., kind of moving forward, but for now, we're just gonna riff and kind of talk about our hopes and dreams, and also what we've been reading. Daniel.
Yes, yes. Big one, big one. Yeah, no, stoked. Super stoked to be here. Just kind of happenstance, me and Trevor were just like texting about comics and what were we talking? I don't even remember what we were talking about, and it just kind of came up. I think you were talking about your Pokemon stream.
Yeah,
And
probably.
I was like, yeah, we should just do that with comics. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And then within like 5 minutes, you had an account made on YouTube and you had a Gmail ready. Like, I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this.
Well, yeah, I had to
So,
get I had to
yeah,
get, I had to get the YouTube set up right away. A, because I wasn't sure if the name was taken or not, and I wanted to see if we needed to start shopping for a new one. But B, when I started my Pokemon live streaming, I did my first stream over on Twitch because YouTube has a like 24-hour rule, so you have to go in and ask for permission to live stream, and then you have to
right,
wait 24 hours. So I had gotten everything I wanted to do. I had gotten my 100 subscribers on my other channel, and had set up promoted this big live stream event. I'm gonna do open up this crazy product that I got my hands on, and went to go click play, and YouTube was like, all right, cool, come back tomorrow, we can do it. I'm like, I'm not waiting another fucking day for this.
right,
I've been
yeah.
working on this for 2 weeks trying to get all this stuff together.
Uh,
So I had to do it on Twitch, and I vowed never to let that happen again.
yeah. No, man, this is super exciting. Comics have been a huge part of my life since I can remember, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, when I worked at Big Easy, you would come in all the time, like,
Oh yeah.
for hours,
Oh my gosh, I know. I so when I lived in Houston, we had Bedrock City Comics. It was like a 20-minute drive from my house, and the comic we had a BC Comics or a BCI Comics in the mall by my house, but they shut down BCI like a year or two after I moved there, so I didn't really get to go. Like I had nowhere to go and read or go and buy
Right.
comics to begin with, aside from like Walden Books and Barnes and Noble. And I was reading a lot of I read a lot of Batman in high school, which was kind of fair. I was an
Yeah.
emo kid, it made sense. But I didn't really explore like the greater. I didn't know that there was just so much out there until I moved to Louisiana and started going to Big Easy and talking to you, talking to Bucky, like getting the
Yeah.
actual like learning about the Millerverse and Image Comics, and getting into like Kick Ass and stuff like that. Was like Kick
Yes.
Ass was what really turned me on to um, the greater scope of what comics could be. Kick Ass and Wanted. When Wanted came out, so that was actually probably the first graphic novel I bought, like the first true graphic novel, not just like a Batman funny book. But I bought
Right.
Wanted, and man, that was eye opening.
Well, it's just because it was so different and like very like I guess subversive, right?
Oh, a
You know,
1000%. Yeah,
considering it was a book clearly about um, supervillains that are your main characters, and the whole purpose of them is to kill
yep,
superheroes, right? And just I don't know. There's definitely a divided line for Mark Millar. Like a lot of people either really like him or they really hate him. It kind
yeah,
of sucks. Because like him and Garth Ennis and all those dudes, like they can be kind of edgelordy, but at the end of
sure,
the day, I mean that's the shit we grew up on.
right.
So I don't know. It's the same thing to me as like listening to like new metal and Limp Bizkit and things like that. Unironically, I'm I was like, no, I listened to that. I'm here for it, you know. And I was like, that's not a guilty pleasure. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard,
Right.
you know. Like you like what you like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, same here. You know, I wouldn't say Wonder was one of the first graphic novels I bought. I mean, my grandfather is who really like turned me on to comics when I was a kid, and he lived in this apartment we were living in Metairie, and I would like clean his office and stuff for him. And every time I'd like clean like the apartment or whatever, he would give me a stack of comics, you know. And in that stack of comics, the first comic book I ever got was The Death of Superman.
Oh.
You know? And that was like primed for that, dude.
Oh man.
Dan Jurgens, are you kidding me?
Yes.
Like people will shit
Wow.
on Jurgens all day, but I think he definitely has cemented his place in comic book history as
Yes.
like one of the heavy hitters, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
I think I'm a little biased. You know?
Sure. I mean, dude. So Death of Superman. That actually, now that you're saying that, I think I'm all right. So Wanted, that came out 2007, 2006. The movie came out in like 2007, I think, and then.
Well, they kind of came out, simultaneously.
Yeah.
Like because they wrote the movie and the comic at the same time.
Right. Right.
I mean.
So.
And that's why they kind of split at the
right.
end, right?
Yeah. So you just unlocked a core memory for me. I remember actually the first three trade paperbacks that I ever got. My grandfather took me to Barnes and Noble in Pensacola, Florida, and I got the first Nightfall skinny trade paperback.
Yes.
I got the Brothers in Blood Nightwing trade paperback, which was when Jason Todd shows up in Bloodhaven dressed as as Nightwing, and he's off killing people as Nightwing, and he and Dick Grayson throw down. And I got the Death of Superman.
Always good.
Oh man,
always good, dude.
I actually might have to go back and reread Nightfall because that whole that arc is insanity.
I feel like it's a product of like the 80s, 90s, you know.
Sure.
I just feel like it was very like, all right, what's the most extreme thing we can do? We're gonna break Batman's back, and then we're gonna replace him with a homicidal maniac who's a religious zealot. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's see what happens.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I just always think back to that when Azrael gets like the full-on Batman armor.
Yes.
And he looks almost like one of the gargoyle mechs from Gargoyle.
Yes.
The Xanatos created.
Oh my gosh,
right?
yes. Dude, they need to
I
bring
love
back
that, dude.
Gargoyles.
And like he was just wrecking shop, dude.
Oh
like,
my gosh,
He
yeah.
was like the Punisher. He was the Punisher in the Batman universe, you know.
He was the avenging angel, and and he was
Jean-Paul Valley.
Dude, I would love in this new James Gunn universe to get John Paul Valley. Like, if
I don't know, man.
Dude, I mean, come on. At some point, like there comes a time when when we need Azrael to show up in a movie.
I guess I don't know. I just like I am the biggest champion for 90s cheese, but certain things just aren't meant for the big screen. You know.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, we all know what happened with Mr. Freeze on the big screen. So
the Ice Age.
Yeah. Shoot.
No, dude, but like,
I'd love it. Look, man, you know what? If not that, give us an animated feature then. How about that?
Yep. No, I'm in for that.
Okay.
I'm definitely. DC animated films just are blowing Marvel out of the water.
Oh,
I
gosh.
don't think Marvel's really done anything other than. You could say, the Sonyverse, right?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Oh,
Into the Spider-Verse
dude, yes.
and Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Incredible. Those films are perfect.
They're the only thing keeping Sony afloat as far as Spider-Man's concerned at this point. Like, I guess Venom did what, $1 billion at the box office, and then Let There Be Carnage did like 1.2.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Venom films because the Venom films just feel like an early 2000s superhero movie. They got trapped in a wormhole.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what
true.
I mean? And then just kind of came out and we're like, hey, I guess we missed this when we were growing up.
And
I can totally see Venom going with like with the Ben Affleck Daredevil and stuff like that, and the X-Men.
Oh my gosh, dude!
That would have been incredible.
Let me tell you right now, I'm gonna give the hottest take in the world. The director's cut of Daredevil, the R-rated version, has like 15-20 more minutes, and it's actually an okay film. I'm not gonna say it's good. I can never say that movie's good, but the director's cut is okay. Like it tries a little bit harder than the regular version.
I mean, I'm the biggest Ben Affleck fanboy on this planet. Okay, so I will defend him till death. Okay, I don't know how he is as a person, but I'm just a fan of Ben Affleck. You know what I mean? I mean, when I was a kid, straight up, Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms. You
Dude,
know
he
what I
was.
mean?
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
But no, dude. I mean, I still feel like we got cheated on his Batfleck. You know, we
Oh,
never
absolutely.
got to actually see a
1000%.
good Batman film with him. You know, because he was a supporting player
Yeah.
in the Superman movie.
Right.
Which still, I mean, we should have got a Man of Steel too. I mean, are you kidding me? Henry Cavill is Superman.
I'm hopeful that
he is Superman.
yeah, I'm hopeful that James Gunn's decisions right now are only to keep Cavill out because he wants to explore a young Superman for a while. And then at some point we are going to get like a modern day Supes and it'll be Henry Cavill.
Or hear me out.
Okay. All right. I'm
You
listening.
get the new cat that's going to be Superman. He's with his younger Superman days, right?
Yep.
And then he brings back Cavill, and we get Kingdom Come, dude.
Dude,
How rad would that
if
be?
we could get Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill in a Kingdom Come movie, I would probably it would easily be the one thing that saves the DCEU aside from the fact that James Gunn has taken over. Like there is nothing.
I mean,
oh man,
because there's
that
so
would
many
be
missed
too good.
opportunities with those actors in those roles.
Oh, for sure.
And like I'm a big Zack Snyder fan too. I mean, granted, he's a lot of style over substance.
He is.
for the
I
most
mean,
part, and
Sucker
he likes
Sucker
to sell-
Punch Sucker Punch is a beautiful movie to look at.
Yep.
Yep.
I was about to say, I was like, don't go further than that. my
No,
friend.
yeah, no. It is stylistically, it is incredible. I love the way that they weave the music in with all of the flashbacks and imagery. Like it's
Yes.
it,
very
but
much
yeah,
so.
the substance of it is just very convoluted and a head scratcher.
And it's also like, and then you get like a lot of like the hot takes where it was like, oh, Zack Snyder just wanted to make a movie where a bunch of hot girls ran around in schoolgirl skirts and whatever. I was like, then you missed the entire point. Of the
Right?
movie.
Yeah, that could
You know
not
what
be
I mean?
further from what he was trying to.
Right.
Could,
Yeah.
he was trying to say.
There's a bunch of scenes where that's what it was, but
Right.
at the same point, I mean,
That movie's very depressing, actually. In
oh, it's
hindsight,
the most depressing.
it's
especially like the scenes when they're in the asylum. You're just like,
Right.
oh my god, dude. I was like, this movie's so messed up.
But you know what it gave us? Oscar Isaac's first comic book role.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, look, it was
Sucker
his.
Punch,
Sucker Punch is basically a comic book movie, man. I mean, it's not a good
it's a comic book
movie.
movie that's not based on a comic book.
Exactly.
Yes. All right,
Exactly.
I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'll
No,
give you that.
it's not based on any form of material. It's an original. It's an original. It's an original story, but
Right.
it is just as ridiculous as a comic book movie could be.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I mean, I'm in a big comic book group chat that me and like a lot of like really close friends are in,
Right.
and I will die on that DCEU hill that I feel like there was just a lot of studio meddling with that.
Oh,
And
1000%.
then whenever, and no, but and I'm gonna say this right now here on the live, all the weird Snyderverse stands out there are the worst. They're the worst people. Because they literally still think that he's gonna buy the rights back and put it on Netflix.
Oh, yeah,
That's like
no.
the dumbest shit I've
No.
ever heard in my entire life. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, no, that is a giant corporation. That's never gonna happen. Like I don't understand that.
It's a giant corporation that was able to put a film into post production and then say, "Fucking nope."
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened.
Like they should have been the first time we got Michael Keaton back as Batman. We had Brendan Fraser as Firefly,
Firefly.
and nope, just
That
gone.
I mean, I've heard of movies getting like permanently shelved or whatever, but like something like a major property, like a major IP like that,
Right.
That's crazy to me.
yeah. And I mean, it was
Was
supposed
it
to.
that bad, or was it just not gonna mesh with?
It
what
was
James
just
Gunn
it
wanted
was
to
just
do?
a tax write off, man. Like that is whenever
That's unfortunate.
the Discovery merger with HBO and Warner Brothers really hurt in a lot of ways. 'Cause, I mean, Titans got canned after that. Doom Patrol got canned after that. And I liked Titans. I haven't watched the last two seasons of it, but I really liked what
Right.
Titans was doing. And I loved what Doom Patrol was doing. That show
Oh,
was
Doom Patrol's
Doom
phenomenal.
Patrol's
That
outstanding. Like it
hands down,
is,
that's
dude.
probably one of the better like live action like TV shows
Oh,
that DC has put out.
a
Like
hundred
or Warner
percent.
Brothers, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
like straight up,
it's
it's
so
so good.
good. It's
It's
so
so
good.
good, man.
But no, so
And it's
with
so off the wall. Like
oh,
it's everything
bonkers.
about it is just bonkers.
Yeah,
Absolutely bonkers.
it's a perfect representation of its source material. I mean, Gerard Way is I love Mike Kim. I love Gerard Way, and I love his writing.
Yeah.
I like the Umbrella. I have not watched a lot of the Umbrella Academy show, but I've read all of the graphic. I've read all of Umbrella Academy, and it is such a cool book.
Yeah.
Love Gerard Way. Love everything he does. And Doom Patrol, the as
I
far
get
as the
what you
live
like.
action series is concerned, does its best to honor the source material.
Right. Well, and now, but I mean, like you also got to think about it too. I mean, Doom Patrol's been a book for a long, long, long time. I mean, they based a lot of stuff. I think there's a good portion based off the Grant Morrison stuff,
Yeah.
and then the don't crucify me with this, but I think Rachel Pollack, a lot of her stuff was in there too. I mean, they kind of it was like an amalgamation of a lot of different
Right.
source material. It wasn't based off of one storyline.
Right, right.
You know,
Well, see,
I really
you can
enjoyed
crucify
the-
me. As far as I knew, Gerard Way was the one who originally wrote Doom Patrol, and I could be wrong about this.
Oh, 100%. You're 100% wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. It's fine. It's fine. Look, man, I'm gonna get a lot of things wrong. I'll get a lot of things right, but that one I got wrong. Turns
Yeah,
out.
no, he was part of the whole DC it was a New Animals, Wild Animals. It was it was like their little imprint where it was like they were just taking like new, young, and like kind of hip creators and just
Okay.
letting them do whatever they wanted to do with DC.
Was that how
properties that weren't
Scott? Was that how
Superman.
Scott Snyder got in on Batman?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I know I know he wrote. Oh gosh, Black Mirror. Before they rebooted the universe, he did the Batman Black Mirror, and that was kind of like his test run on Batman.
Yeah,
And
the hold on, I'm cheating. I got
no,
my
it's fine. We
tablet
got time.
up. Yeah.
At some point, I'll be able to. Once I get my third monitor up, I'll be able to throw different stuff up on the screen so that everybody can see it.
Oh yeah, dude. No, that's the move.
Yeah, man. Look, there are so many things. Listen, chat. I know we got 8 viewers in here. I'm gonna quick
Yeah?
say hello to Eric Johansson.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I think that's an old one. He jumped in and dropped that comment. Vola Vocal. It's about time. I've been waiting forever. You guys are in my dreams. And then my wife,
Thank you.
my wife is watching from downstairs. She heard us talking about Spider-Man. She said Spider-Man. Then I guess she heard me talking about Gerard Way. She said I love him. She if she had the opportunity, she would leave me for Gerard Way, and I would not be mad at her. I would not be mad at her.
I wouldn't blame her either. He's a gem.
He is.
Big Mike M fan over here, dude.
He's a truly precious person. If anything happened to him, I'd be very devastated.
Yeah. Definitely. No, it's DC Young Animal.
Okay.
That's where I messed up. Not
All
Wild
right.
Animal, but it's Young Animal. That obviously Young Animal. It's a lot of younger creators
Right.
and a lot of like just kind of like different takes on different characters.
Okay.
Also, chat people watching live. This is very much shooting from the hip. So
Yeah.
I promise you that we will actually do research and have actual episodes
Sure.
about things. We got really excited, so we just wanted to just get it going
All right.
and then see if we have some kind of viewership, and if we
Yeah,
do, we'll
we
just
do.
keep it going.
Jonathan Davis is in here. What's up, Javis? How you doing, bro?
J-Bone,
What is up,
baby?
man? Oh, Dennis. That's Dennis is Vola Vocal. Dennis,
Oh,
what is
Dennis
up, my guy?
Breland?
Yeah, man. Oh, the boys
Oh,
are back in
sweet
town.
Baby Angel,
I'm
dude.
telling
I
you.
know Brett and his wife Lizzie are watching on their TV at home. He told me they
Oh,
were queued
man.
up, which was it warmed my heart. It made me real special.
Oh, jeez. Oh, gee.
But yeah, no, and then my buddy Tony gave me a lot of shit for not a lot of shit, but he gave me shit for not telling him that we were doing this.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, so why is this the first I'm hearing you guys are doing a podcast? And I was like, well, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, like
I said it in passing, and then Trevor was just like, hey, I'm gonna make all this stuff, and we're gonna do it now, and
Yep.
you have no choice but to do it. But yeah, no, I told him I was like, we are definitely gonna do a Rick Remender centric episode,
Oh,
and I
fuck
would love to have him as a
yes.
guest because
Absolutely.
he is a big Rick Remender fanboy like I am. Like
Dude,
me and him were always like sending pictures of our Rick Remender shelf back and forth because we got all those sweet deluxe editions.
Oh my gosh, that is so dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
Oh,
cool
my
thing.
buddy Rob is watching on TV as well. Thank
Okay,
you,
all
Rob.
right, all right. Yeah, I need to go. So I have Deadly Class on my reading device. Rob
Hold on.
Fairburn. Hi boys. What's up, Rob?
Time out. Time out. Time out. Are you telling me, for as long as we've been friends, you've never read Deadly Class? I know I've told you about it.
Look,
I
man.
know
All
I've
right.
told
You
you to
know what?
read it.
You know what? I'm gonna get in real close here.
I'm gonna get super close.
Oh, okay. All right. So.
Come here. Come
All
here.
right.
Come here.
All
Come here.
right.
Get closer.
Whoa.
Get as close as you can through the monitor. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Listen,
It's one of my
motherfucker.
favorite comics, dude. It's literally X-Men with assassins. It's the best. It's the best.
Look, I read Black Science immediately, and I crushed through that book. That's probably one of my favorite Image books. And then when Tokyo Ghost in my like, you took Rick Remender, and you mixed him with probably one of the greatest writers and artists in comic books.
Sean
Period.
Murphy, baby.
Sean Murphy, the man, dude.
He's the best.
Tokyo Ghost, I need them to just do another book. Like, I just need it. I need it.
I want it in my face. But,
Dude, it'll never happen.
When I lived on the East Coast, so Sean Murphy lives around the Portland area in Maine.
Oh, wow.
And I got this sweet deluxe cover, and apparently he just goes to random comic shops. Sorry, the camera's weird. And just signs random stuff.
Dude, that is sick. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
he
incredible.
He just signs random things that he's made. Yeah, there's weird, like, fingerprint smudges. I like to tell myself that they're his thumbprints.
Yeah, probably so. Rob Fairburn says, "Oh, you love it. Thank you for that, Rob." So I have a Pokemon channel, and I do Pokemon card openings and stuff every Friday night over there at Poketrev on YouTube. Shameless plug on the other.
That's all right, Poketrev. Go follow it.
Yep.
Watch my friend.
Yeah. So that is my streaming setup. My wife actually built this for me for Father's Day, and then I've kind of added on to it. We also have the D&D GC. Yo.
Oh, that's I think that's Justin Sloan.
Okay. All right. So we have
He's watching at work right now.
Right on.
Don't tell anyone.
Hey, no, that's the best place. If you're gonna watch podcasts or listen to podcasts or watch YouTube, always do it at work.
If you're gonna watch two knuckleheads just ramble on for 45 minutes,
what
better to do it? Get
right?
paid
Yeah,
for it.
exactly, man. Look, one day we'll get paid to do this. So until then, you should get paid to watch this.
Just saying, man. I mean, if we can do this and get some kind of scratch or some sponsorship,
Look, one of these
or I
days,
can just,
man.
Fund my habit of buying comics, which is disgusting.
Yeah. Brett Charlotte, kill company time with the boys. Yes, absolutely kill company time with the boys.
It's actually pronounced Charlotte.
Look, listen here, man. I've moved north. I'm a northerner now, so I don't know how to.
I bet you say pecan now too, you savage.
It's Atchafalaya, right?
I'm gonna kill you.
So, true story. Before I moved up here, and my whole life turned around, she and I reconnected. We actually went to high school together, and during COVID, we reconnected on Facebook and everything. She told me she was driving to Pennsylvania. That's where she and she and her son were moving. And I'm like, well, hey, I've got, I have like a week of PTO available. My job is kind of shut down right now anyway. I'm only doing part-time stuff, but I could take this vacation time, help you up and, help you drive up there if you just want to swing by Pensacola and pick me up. So we decided to do that. Of course, that led to everything else, and the rest is history type deal. But she called me whenever she got to Louisiana, and essentially every time she'd get to a new area with a funny name, I'd have her call me and just tell her to try and pronounce it. Yeah, so fun ones were the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge. Ponchatoula was a good one.
How'd that go? Please tell me.
I don't quite remember. She said pon, and I said Ponchatoula, and she said that one. That's where I am right now.
One,
yep, that's the one.
Should have shown a Chafunka.
Oh, see, that's the thing though.
That would have been the
Chifuncta, there,
best.
yeah, the Chifuncta River, you wouldn't cross over that driving down 12 or 10 then 12. So, didn't have
Yeah.
the opportunity for that. But the Atchafalaya Basin Bridge, that was a fun one. Uh,
Yeah.
Rob Fairburn says, Pony, today's Lucy's 15th birthday. Could you tell her happy birthday so I can send it to her?
Absolutely. Lucy, happy birthday. I miss you. I love you. That's crazy that you're 15 because I remember when you were a little squirt.
Yeah.
I feel real old now. Thanks. But yeah, happy birthday. I love you.
Happy birthday, Lucy. 15's a fun age. You get to start learning how to drive, and then at 16, you have to drive everywhere, and your parents will make you go to the grocery store for them. So,
Yep.
yep.
And then complain about why there's no gas in the tank.
I feel, dude, look, I don't have a single sibling under the age of 18 anymore. It makes me feel ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my girlfriend has a 13-year-old son, so
Nice.
I feel old all the time.
I'm sure, yeah. Well,
I do learn a lot of the new slang. Which
oh
is
man,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So our 11-year-old, he just got a haircut, and I went to do the whole fresh cut, smack on the back of the head thing. He's like, "That's not, it's not what you do. You go, hey, it's a nice cut, G," and then you smack them in the back of the head, and it's like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Am, I'm too old. I'm just gonna
Apparently
sit here in my Star Wars shirt and talk about comic books with my friends. Gosh.
I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Right,
What else you
yeah.
gonna do on a Saturday. Come on.
Actually.
Let's get back into books. What are you
Yep.
reading right now, man?
So right now, after I went to the deep dive into pretty much the last 20 years of Daredevil and decided I can't do that right now because I want to read a bunch of other stuff. I started the new Guardians run, which is
The one that's like the weird space western.
kind of, it's
It's like the brand new one, right?
yeah, like it's on
I have the first 5 issues. I
yeah,
haven't read it
issue
yet,
5 just came out. It's good. I gotta say that there is not a ton of context yet for. I'm hoping that it's one of those things where it's like a new story. They did say that issue 6 is going to be pretty much the backstory for it. So I gotta say,
what things mean.
yeah, man, because it's interesting. It's fascinating. I am of course reading Fables. My wife just pointed out in the chat that I'm reading Fables. I got the everybody chat. Listen, listen here. All right, come closer. So you can go to Amazon right now and get probably the most beautiful box set ever of easily one of the greatest graphic novels ever written, Fables. It's like $150. You get all 4 of the compendiums. It's in a nice treasure chest looking box. If you haven't read Fables, you need to read Fables. That book is so good.
I'm right here with you, Trevor, with the Fables thing, but I'm not a big fan of Amazon. So I think you should go find your local funny bookshop.
I mean,
And
do
then you
that
can
too.
ask them.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
ask them
yeah.
to order it.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I
they'll
mean,
get it for you, and then you'll feel good because you're supporting a local business.
that's true. All right, you know what?
And you're keeping comic books alive.
I
Right?
agree. I agree. Look, I'm with
Okay.
that. I'm with that 1,000%.
Oh no, I'm not dogging you, man.
Not-
I still use Amazon for things.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're reading an ongoing series and you don't go to your local comic book shop for your comic
fucking up.
books, you're doing it fucking wrong. But if you want to order a $300 box set and get it for half that price, more power to you. Like I get that. I understand that as well.
Totally.
Rob Fairburn says, Wonder Boys, I hate comics as a medium, but I love the content. Can you suggest a storyline in traditional book form I can read? So going back to Fables, I'm pretty sure that there is a novel that Bill Willingham did based on it, or at least just some side stories and stuff from that universe. If you're not familiar with Fables, ABC ripped Fables off big time. And put out a show called Once Upon a Time, which I will say this: the first few seasons, good. It's a fine show. It is a fine show for an ABC series ripping off probably one of the most amazing comic book series of all time. But Fables is about all the storybook characters banished to our world, and the villain you'll never see coming. And when it happens, and you find out who the main villain, like who the adversary is, it's one of my favorite moments ever because it's just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? That's right on. But no, they're all sent from they're all run out of their lands by just a villain called the adversary, and they end up taking portals to the Mundy world, the mundane world. That's our world, and they live in New York. And It's crazy. The Big Bad Wolf is the sheriff. Snow White is the deputy mayor. Incredible series. Another one, Fairburn, is I know Gaiman put out several Sandman novels, just straight up written novels. So there are.
Um,
What do
no,
you have,
go,
Dan?
go on.
No, no, no. You're good.
Finish your thought, I'm sorry.
No, I was just
No,
gonna say there are several, but yeah, if you've got more to add to
yeah.
it, please.
Um, eh, I know Rob. Me and Rob go way back. Um, I personally, if you like cheap, like grocery store like paperback novels, if you go to any used bookstore, you know, you can go to like Second Charles and go to any of the used bookstores like that. Any of the novelizations or the novel runs of any of the X-Men, Spider-Man, Avengers books, they used to come in like real shitty, like flimsy paperbacks with like the tiniest print. But you still get all the fun stuff from comic books, but it's just all words. There's no pictures.
Yeah.
Um, any of those, and I will die by that because those are great. I used to read those at school whenever I wasn't allowed to bring my comics because my English teacher used to tell me that I couldn't read comic books in class, which I thought was kind of crazy. I was like, I'm still reading something. There's just
Right.
pictures, but I would grab those instead.
See, I had the opposite. I had an English teacher that also taught ESL, which is English as a second language, because I went to high school in Houston, Texas, where there was a lot of Spanish speaking students that didn't actually speak English as a first language. So she would use comic books. She actually, I lost it years ago, but I had pretty much the entire collection of Calvin and Hobbes up until whatever was released in 2006 because she used that in her classroom. But she would also get like, that's where I read The Killing Joke for the first time, was in her classroom, because she would show that to people to demonstrate how comic books could also be true, like gripping, dramatic stories, man. So she was cool.
Very much so.
She ended up
anything Alan Moore.
Yeah, Alan Moore's
I mean,
incredible.
he's very much. I guess I mean like what you want to use that term, right? I mean, what they say about horror movies, they have like horror, and then there's elevated horror. I mean,
Right.
like Alan Moore is like your elevated comics, where like he goes into more adult subject matter and makes you think about stuff. Same with Neil Gaiman, Gaiman.
Yeah, Gaiman. I say Gaiman.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be right.
We're from Louisiana. No one's gonna
Yeah.
judge us that hard.
I hope not.
But no, I mean it's all elevated storytelling and things like that. I mean it just gives you more of a different. It gives you a different perspective on your basic, cape and spandex fare.
Yes.
And I really enjoy that. I mean, like that's why Swamp Thing's one of my favorite, comic book characters. I have him tattooed on my forearm for Christ's sake.
Hell
But
yes.
yeah, no, Alan Moore. His whole run was great, but I'm still a huge fan of the Bernie Wrights and Lynn Wein stuff, man, because it was just very much like Freak of the Week, dude. It came out at a time where like it was like riding the coattails of like the old EC Comics stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Where it was
Yeah.
like the like horror books where it was like, oh yeah, there's some patchwork freak hiding in the shadows, and then Swamp Thing's got to go stop it. And
Yep.
It's like, all right, cool. Why is this plant monster globe-trotting fighting monsters? I don't know, and I
Who
don't
cares?
care.
Who
I'm here
cares?
for it,
Yeah.
dude.
Let's see. So, Bola Vocal said Once Upon a Time was cool for a couple seasons. I'll just call you Dennis. I know who you are. Dennis said Once Upon a Time was cool for a couple seasons, and it was just the same thing over and over. And it was. I mean, look, for the first few seasons, it was cool. It was cool to see this idea play out in live action. I loved the idea of it. And Javis said that Telltale did make a Fables game, The Wolf Among Us. Yes, they did. It's a brilliant game. I love the point and click style stuff. Brett Charlet pointed that out as well. They are making a second Wolf Among Us. I don't know if y'all are familiar or aware, but they are actually doing a second one finally, even though Telltale shuttered their doors years ago, but then reopened them. We are getting a follow-up to that. And then Fairburn asked if I am the Trevor from Open Mic. I am.
Yeah.
It's been probably 10-ish years. No, it hasn't been that long.
I haven't been in the Navy that long.
It's been about 8 years or so since I performed
I'd
at
say
Open
that,
Mic,
yeah.
Give or take. Yeah.
Good old Eddie Trevor playing hits from the 90s.
me and Todd Lemoyne, man. Todd just playing the guitar for me because I can't play, but I can certainly sing.
Yep.
So yeah, no, that was me. I have since gotten my absolute shit together in all the good ways.
Proud of you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Other things I'm reading, I am reading the. It kind of, I'm gonna try. Look, the divergencies and the everything will be that's gonna happen, but I will.
Yep.
I will always do my best to get us back on topic. So I am also reading.
I'm fine with that.
I'm reading the new Avengers run with Carol Danvers running the team. I'm reading. Obviously, I am going back. So I was gonna start reading Daredevil, and then I went back and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read Daredevil from like 5 years ago, and then you reminded me that I should just read the Bendis Daredevil, start there, and then I realized that the Bendis Daredevil is actually piggybacking on the Kevin Smith run of Daredevil, so I'm reading. So I'm gonna start there. I'm gonna go back.
I did the same thing not too long ago. Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you should just go all the way back and just read the Frank Miller.
I was about to say. I mean, at this point, why
just
not?
Start there and then go from that point on.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the Stan Lee stuff is great. He has a lot of amazing artists on there. That's why I like Daredevil so much. I mean, it was like I'm looking at it right now. I mean, he got Wally Wood, dude. Wally Wood of EC Comics fame. All right, like science fiction comics. Are you kidding me? Wally Wood, dude. One of my favorite comic book artists, straight up of all time. He's up there with like Kirby and Murphy and all those cats. You know what I mean? But a lot of like the OG Daredevil stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. It's a Law and Order crime book, and then
he also goes around and beats up bad guys at night.
Right. Yeah. But it's one of the few books that I really feel holds on to continuity, like pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, we were talking about like, well, I mean, if I read that, then I have to read this. And if I read that, then I have to read this. If I read that, I have to read this.
Yep.
So I mean, really, if you start with the Frank Miller Daredevil. I'm pointing like you guys can see.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking at my shelf right now. If you start with the Frank Miller Daredevil, you can move through all the way, hit the Kevin Smith one.
Yep.
And then Bendis, and then Brubaker. I mean, yeah, you're skipping a whole lot between Miller and Kevin Smith.
Right.
But Frank Miller is like that's the quintessential. Like, if you want to get into Daredevil, read the Frank Miller stuff.
Yep.
It's amazing.
If you wanna get into comic books, read the Frank Miller stuff. It's just
Frank Miller, Alan Moore, especially if you're an adult and you want to get into comics. Honestly, like that way you don't feel like you're reading something that is aimed at a younger audience.
Yeah. It's
also, I mean, if you want to go modern comics, you go anything Rick Remender writes.
Right.
Hands down, we'll recommend it all day, every day. Brian K. Vaughan, Saga, Why the Last Man, Deus Ex Machina. Like, let's go.
I just I finally was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna continue Saga now, and started reading from the most recent, like when they picked it back up, and I think I cranked out got through 6 issues last night when I was laying in bed.
Are you talking about the new run?
After the 3-year hiatus or 4-year hiatus. I was so
convinced. Glad they stayed together as a creative team.
Dude, Fiona Staples is
either one of them could have walked,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And Staples, I mean, she just had a baby.
Right.
So it was very. I know that reading stuff that BKV was putting out, kind of in that interim, it was like he wasn't 100% sure how things were going to pan out because of the fact that she's got a young family now, but the fact that they stay together and her artwork, I mean, dude,
it's so good, dude. It's for one, I don't want to say modern artist because she's been around for a little bit, but I mean for a relatively recent artist that has been skyrocketed into the mainstream, dude. The quality of her artwork. Just every time I'll flip through Saga, I'm just like, wow, man.
It's incredible.
The person made this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know, man. It's
so good. It's just everything about it is great. I love Saga a lot.
It's probably one of the most adult comics out there, period.
Yeah.
just hide your kids, hide your wife. Like that book is
Oh no, it's very much
yeah.
definitely a what is it, you could say a hard R,
Yeah,
right? You know,
absolutely,
it's like well,
absolutely.
actually no, not a hard R. That's awful. Don't say
Yeah,
that.
no.
It's definitely a mature book.
We're gonna get
Yeah,
canceled before we even get
just edit
started.
that
Yeah.
out. Edit
All
that
right,
out. No,
guys. Well,
no.
we've been Wonder Boys. It's been fun. We gotta go.
It's
See
been
ya.
fun. All right, we gotta
Yep.
go. Yeah, no. But no, Saga is definitely a mature book for
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
But if for those of you that don't know about Saga, which is probably, a good half the chat maybe that don't really read comics like we do. Saga is basically Romeo and Juliet in space.
It
It's
is.
pretty
It is
dope.
100% that, man, and it's gosh, like the depth and the world building alone is probably some of the most impressive ever. Like I don't know that except for like the creation of Batman and Superman and like the creation of the Marvel and DC universes respectively. I don't think there's been anything as impressive as what Brian K. Vaughan has done to build this universe that he's created. Like if they wanted to, and they won't, and I'm glad for it, but if they wanted to, there could be so many spin-offs and so many side stories and so many
Yeah.
it could create like they could create their own shared universe with that story, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. I mean, the Robot Empire, man, they're some of my favorites.
Prince Robot the
Dude,
Fourth,
Prince
man.
Robot the Fourth is
He's probably him and the Will are like two of my favorite
yes.
books of the whole book.
Oh my
They're
gosh,
so good.
Lion Cat, like
Lion
what?
Cat, yeah.
Lion
No,
Cat.
shout out to Bucky. I don't know if he's watching it, but yeah, he gave me a bunch of old like comic book T-shirts, and he gave me one of his shirts. It's just the Lion Cat's face, and it just says "Lion"
That's
really
sick.
big.
That's
and speech bubble.
awesome,
It's like one of
man.
my favorite shirts.
Oh, I love like Saga has transcended comic books too. It ended up in a Taco Bell commercial. Guy dressed up as Marco on his way to a comic
Yeah.
book convention was in a Taco Bell commercial. I think like 2 years ago.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, it
That's
was.
a lot of fun.
I know it was like one of those random Google articles because I have the Google app on my phone,
Right.
and a lot of my stuff is tailor made to video games, comic books, and Pokemon, etc. And this was like 2 years ago or so, but it was like Brian K. Vaughan's Saga gets new life in Taco Bell commercial, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
What?
about?
What's
Okay.
happening? What universe am I living
Yeah,
in?
and it is. It's a guy like they're stopping off at Taco Bell on the way to a comic book convention. He's dressed up as Marco, and I'm like, that's cool. That's neat. Way to
It's a fun little Easter egg for us. It's
sure,
not for anyone
absolutely.
else. It's
No,
for
yeah.
us.
It doesn't exist for anybody that hasn't read it because people are looking at that like, who the fuck is this guy? And then people like you and me are like, that's fucking Marco, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of us greasy neck beards are just.
I'm
like,
telling
oh my
you.
God, no, man.
Yeah, I gotta shave a little bit. I do have the neck beard going on right now. I definitely look the
Yeah.
part.
Oh man.
So what are you reading, man? Enough about me.
Everything.
Yeah, more
everything.
about you. Yeah.
I literally read everything. It's
Yeah.
it's a problem. Yeah, no, because I started collecting omnis because I was like, all right, I'm gonna step away from single issues, and then I found this really dope shop out here, Gotham City Limit, and
Cool.
they get every book, like every like single issue book, like big creators, small creators, our publishers, I mean,
Right.
and they have enough for everybody. I don't ever feel like I gotta rush to the comic book store to go like, oh, I gotta get my books, or
Right.
I gotta go see what's out there, They literally order everything, and then it's just like the entire staff there is incredible. I love those guys. But yeah, I canceled my folder for a little bit. It's probably like a good like 6 month period where I canceled my folder, and then I just went back to Big Easy or not.
Whoa.
Gotham City. Yeah. I used to work at Big Easy.
Yes.
I walked into Gotham City one day just because I was like, all right, I got a little extra scratch, whatever. I'll go see what they got. And I was just like walking the shelves, like, man, I was like, oh, I want to read this, I want to read this, I want to read this, And then by the time I walked out, I had like $50 worth of like single issues.
Nice.
And I did that for a couple weeks, and I was like, all right. And I was like, just kind of like show up on like a Wednesday or a Thursday, depending when I was off. And I would just go walk the shelf, walk.
Nice.
That's my favorite part of Comic Book Wednesday is walking the shelf because
Absolutely.
yes, you have the titles you want to read, right? And then you just get to see what else came out, And then there's
Right.
so many up and coming like smaller publishers right now that are putting out some solid ass books. Believe it or not, even was it Sumerian Records?
Yeah.
Like the hardcore like record label, they have either they have a comic book imprint, or someone that is in a band is really into comics is like, hey, we should make our own comic book label. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're putting out stuff. Black Mask consistently putting out good stuff. And then like they're not really small anymore, but Boom,
Dude,
probably puts
Boom.
out some of my favorite books. You know,
Let me.
Something's Killing the Children, House of Slaughter. Once in Future, it's over now, but it's like 32 issues, and it's basically, if you speak about old King Arthurian lore, right?
Yeah.
It comes true.
Okay.
It just happens, yeah.
Okay.
And it's amazing. It's Kieran Gillen and Dan Mora. Dan Mora, like one of my favorite artists right now. He's currently on DC's World's Finest with Batman and Superman.
Okay.
Incredible, like dude. Like everybody's all like, "Oh, Jim Lee draws the best Batman." No, Dan Mora and Clay Mann, those dudes draw the best Batman. Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna have to check out the World's Finest because I haven't.
huge. Yeah.
I have not.
And it's cool in between tales.
Yeah, that's
So,
neat.
Yeah, Dick Grayson's still Robin, and it's like that. That's where it
Wow.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like throwbacks, and it's like weird, like what happens in between, certain things.
Okay. All
So
right.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a fun little book, and the artwork is phenomenal. Dan Mora is the best. He's my favorite. Like capes and tights.
Right
artist
on.
right now for sure.
Stephen Smith said Once in Future is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll add that
like,
to my.
Like Steve, like Big Easy Steve.
Maybe. Probably. I'm gonna say
Hope so.
probably.
I'm gonna say
I'm
it
gonna
is.
say. I'm gonna say
I
definitely.
think he
maybe.
likes us both enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Steve, how you doing,
Steve.
buddy?
Yeah, Once in Future was absolutely phenomenal. I've gone back now because I read the first trade, and then I started picking up single issues from issue 7.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then I've recently gone back through like back issue bins and like my comic shop and things like that online,
Nice.
and gotten the entire run in single issues.
Awesome. Steve said,
Yeah.
"Who else?" Yeah. So yeah, that is Steve. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, dude.
That
No,
is fantastic.
And we'll definitely have Steve on here.
Heck yes. Oh, and that's the cool thing about doing this, like with Zoom and everything, is that I do have like the Zoom Pro, and we can have, we can have guests and stuff come
Right.
in.
You just kind of click them in.
Yep, exactly.
It's fun.
It is, man. This is exciting. This is so much fun.
Yeah, dude. No, just like shooting the shit. I mean, like
Yeah.
if whoever the chat, if you're still with us, thanks for sticking
Yeah.
around.
So we still have.
We're having fun.
Yep, we have 11. We have 11 people watching right now.
Hey man.
And that is
That's cool.
you know what, that is a good night for me, even on my Pokemon stream. I've got a fuck ton of followers over there, so we're doing
man.
big things on this channel already.
We're doing good right out the gate. I'm here
Yep,
for it, dude.
absolutely. Tracy's watching with me. Oh, Tracy, how are you? Oh man, that's fantastic. Tracy and Steve are both watching. That's cool.
Aw, hey y'all.
Hey, it's been a very long time.
Been way too long.
I know, man. Yeah, Big Easy is probably, you guys are along with Dan and Bucky especially. Y'all are responsible for me getting as hardcore into comics as I am. Like I probably wouldn't have gone so hard on a lot of books for as long as I did if I didn't have
Right.
if I didn't have y'all's shop. So
No,
that
definitely.
Yeah.
They definitely got me back into comics. Like,
yeah.
I showed up at the shop when they were on Highway 22.
Oh my
and
gosh,
that
in
little,
Mandeville,
like,
yeah,
hole
right
hole,
there. Yeah, right there across from
past,
Beauchene.
Woodbridge.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was right when the new 52 came out, and I managed to get there. Like I think I was like maybe 2 or 3 issues behind, and I got a couple second printings of like first issues and whatnot.
Nice.
But I have a good chunk of the Batman stuff.
Oh,
and,
that's awesome.
Like the Scott Snyder.
The Scott Snyder Batman,
you know?
yeah, man.
Oh,
Dude, the Red Hood and the Outlaws, that first run from New 52, some of
Yeah.
my favorite. Like that is some of the
It's
most
great.
fun.
It's great, dude.
Dude, the New 52 had several misses. Like there were a lot of misfires with that relaunch, but man, the Scott Snyder Batman, like everything he did was just
It's great.
just incredible.
The fact that it took him till what was it? I think it was
issue
like right
issue.
past Rebirth. No,
Yeah,
but right past Rebirth to give that man Justice League. I was like, dude,
yeah,
that man is primed
yeah.
and ready for Justice League. Give
Yes.
it to
Oh my
him.
gosh, absolutely.
And his run on Justice League is great.
Yeah. He I think that aside from the Killing Joke, Scott Snyder's Death of the Family is some of my favorite Joker writing ever.
Oh yeah, dude. No,
Like
hands down. It's so good.
it's dude, it is the
no.
most, like, for one thing, it's the first time you truly believe and understand the Joker knows who the fuck Batman is.
Yeah, he
He
knows and he doesn't care.
he doesn't
and that's
care.
the best part.
He wants
And that's the best part.
Yep.
Yeah.
He wants nothing to do with it. He doesn't like that. That is not who he is tied to. Bruce Wayne means nothing to him, but he knows that that's who's Batman.
Yep.
And Death of the Family proves it. Holy shit, that is just such.
Just man, Scott Snyder. He literally wrote some of the best Batman that I have read in probably 15 years up until that point. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And like not knocking Grant Morrison, but Grant Morrison is definitely an acquired taste.
Grant Morrison
You know,
is an acquired taste.
He's very kooky and he likes to throw in a lot of like B, C, D tier villains in there,
Right.
and expects you to be like, okay, I know who this person is.
Yeah.
Like, he throws a lot of Golden Age stuff in there
Right.
too, and I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's
but
cool.
I don't understand.
Right.
Know?
You're writing the mainline Batman books, and you're trying to, like, you don't care about appealing to the mass audience, which is fine, but also, I mean, yeah, Grant Morrison's. I didn't.
Brought back the Batman of Zen Nara.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, and Chip Zdarsky's actually incorporated that into the new run.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
That's
dude.
fantastic.
It's so
That's
good.
cool.
It's
That's
so
cool.
Good.
I mean, I don't know if I don't know if he showed up in Batman Incorporated or not, but I would have been very, like, I'm surprised we didn't get a Batmite appearance in Grant Morrison's Batman runs.
It's been a minute since I've read it.
Yeah, I did love.
I feel like he does show up.
Yeah, I feel like
I never read Incorporated. I only read the core Batman.
Okay, so Batman Incorporated, Grant Morrison's Batman Incorporated run was actually a lot of fun. It was very cool. It was interesting. I liked it.
It's like the worldwide Batman network,
yes,
right? It's like
correct.
all the Batmen from all over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's whenever Bruce Wayne finally makes it back, and Dick Grayson is still Batman, but Bruce Wayne doesn't want to take over as main Batman anymore. Like, he wants it to, like, he goes global with it instead. So Dick Grayson's still Batman in Batman Incorporated with Damian as his Robin. And that leads me to my next point. The Batman and Robin with Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne is some of the most fun I've had reading Batman.
Definitely. Actually, I want to say I talked to Brett about that not too long ago. Brett Charlet.
Yeah.
That shit is so much fun.
Dude, it's
so good.
It's so good, man. Like,
it's so good. And it's like, because you actually get to see Damian experience some sort of compassion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
He was a little kid built for war.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Dick Grayson's like, oh, I've never had a little brother. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, he had Jason, he had Dick and all that stuff, you know. But, like, Damian's, like, actually his little brother.
Yeah, oh,
you know
100%. 100%.
And, like, that whole dynamic is just so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And, like, like I said, I was talking to Brett, like, the opening panel when Dick is Batman,
mm-hmm.
and it's, like, I think it's, like, either Two-Face or Penguin or someone says something, is like, I don't know who that is, but that's not the Bat. And they're like, how do you know it's not the Bat? He goes, he smiled.
Yep, exactly.
Like,
yes.
And I totally forgot about that. I end up like cracking into my omnis over there, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I totally forgot about that. It's such a cool.
The Bat doesn't.
Such a cool interaction.
Yep. Brett just came into the chat. Said the Bat doesn't smile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know if you have two monitors or not, Daniel, but if you're able to, you can also pull up like YouTube and just mute it, and you can have the chat streaming in front of you.
Oh,
yeah. So you can watch. I mean, yeah, I don't mind announcing the chat. It's.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but no, yeah. So I will say the Battle for the Cowl was fun. Kind of meh.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cracked open that book thinking anybody but Dick Grayson was gonna end up Batman.
Right.
Like it was very anticlimactic. It was a lot of fun just to see. It was one of those like, all right, cool. It's not about the destination. It's all about the journey, and the journey was it was mediocre at best, I'd say, but it's still fun to read. I am one of those rat bastards that didn't necessarily love Final Crisis.
What were you
Uh,
talking about? A lot of people didn't like Final
yeah.
Crisis.
Well,
Like I
look,
said,
man.
it was because Grant Morrison is 100% an acquired taste,
Yep. Uh,
unfortunately.
oh, hey,
And
you're
I love him.
you.
Am I lagging real hard?
Yeah, your video is lagging. Your voice is still fine.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna pull up YouTube then.
Okay. Yeah.
My internet's being stupid. All right. Well, then we'll figure out a way so I
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
monitor the chat.
Next time. Next time. Yeah.
It's all right. We'll work out the bugs for the first real episode.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like, hey, let's hang out with people.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know.
Talk to people. But yeah. No. Final Crisis. I didn't love it. I kind of lumped that. So I read two of the most what is the word I'm gonna look for? I know the word I'm looking for. I read Final Crisis and One More Day pretty much back to back. Two of the most subversive stories from the two
Two of the
biggest
most
comic.
hated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a bad time for me, and I only read it because my buddy was like, "Dude, you don't want to read these books." I'm like, "All right, well now I gotta read them. Like I have to read this." And boy, oh man, One More Day. That's
It's not. It's not. It's not. That's not what you want.
no, it's not. It's not.
And the fact that just like they build that whole relationship with him and MJ,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Yeah, I'll throw it away.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, we're done with it."
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
Anything for
Say
Aunt
Aunt
May.
May.
Yeah,
but at
anything
the
for
same
Aunt May.
point, you know.
Yeah. I never read Brand New Day, but I know that it's supposed to like right all the wrongs of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I never read
I'm not
it.
really super familiar with like I've never really been like I like Spider-Man, but I never actually like actively read Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's my
I
that's my
I like more of the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. I like the Miles Morales Spider-Man stuff.
no, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
because it's different.
yes,
It's like a
exactly,
breath of fresh air,
exactly.
right? Like,
It
it's like,
is.
okay, cool. We get to experience what it would be like to be Superman if we were, like
Exactly.
from our
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, for sure. So I like Spider-Man's inclusion in things. I do like him as a character. I think Spider-Man Deadpool, that is probably one of my favorite Deadpool stories.
Right.
That's like, because Deadpool is hands down my favorite comic book character of all time. He is just the most, period. And oh gosh, hold on, my brain just fried. I'm not gonna perjure myself on this. Hold on.
That's okay. I'm not really a big Deadpool fan.
Oh man, but
I know that it's.
no, it's okay. You know what? He's not for everybody, and I get
I
that.
just don't. I don't know. It's like one of those things, like the chimichanga thing. I don't give a shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't. However, Deadpool in Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender,
Yes.
probably one of my favorite characters. Like if every writer wrote Deadpool like that Deadpool,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be into that character.
Uh,
I don't care. I don't care. That just the whole like, fourth wall breaking and all that stuff, right?
yeah.
Like
She-Hulk
that's
did it
cool.
first and better.
Yeah. and we had John Byrne,
Yeah.
doing the art and writing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Brian Posehn's run on Deadpool. Posehn, who is probably
I
one
did read that.
Okay, cool.
But
I was
that's
gonna
'cause
say.
Tony Moore did the artwork.
Yep,
Because Tony
yep.
Moore is the fucking man, and
Yep.
he just only does covers now. He doesn't do full comics.
Yeah. So yeah, Posehn's run on Deadpool was just a thing of beauty. Deadpool as a child that he didn't know
Yeah.
about. I love that. So Posehn's run on Deadpool was good. I know like the Bad Blood stuff from the '90s was good. That was an early Deadpool run. And now I know they just did. There is current ongoing called Deadpool Batter Blood, which is
Yeah, I think they let Liefeld do the interiors for that.
Okay.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff with that, and I saw the covers, and I mean, he's definitely a product of the '90s, man. He's
Yeah.
all pockets and big guns.
That's it.
and Not drawing feet properly
Oh man.
or hands.
That's why. Look, man. I always wanted to be an artist, but I can't draw feet or hands, so I just don't.
And Liefeld do it. You can probably do it, man.
I mean, I
Just
guess.
do an indie book.
Yeah, right. Oh, for sure. No, it's just gonna be a lot of arms like moving out of the panel, or a lot of guns, so it's just a finger.
Yeah.
I can do
It's just the
that.
flat part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I can do like a gun pointed at you and then just the flat knuckles. I could do that. That's easy.
Yeah,
That's
that's
easy.
easy.
Yeah,
That's an easy perspective exercise. You can work on that one.
sure. I could probably write like a very mediocre book as well. Maybe I'm a
I'd
very
read that book.
yeah. Look, man, my writing is mediocre at best. I started working on gosh, this was 2 years ago. We were in Houston for one of my wife's friend's wedding, and I had my Mac with me, and I just decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to start writing a murder mystery, and I wrote like 28 pages over the course of a couple of days, and I got bored with it. So I'm gonna eventually. It's supposed to be like a 2 minute read. Once I started writing, I'm like, cool. I don't want this to be something somebody sits down because I don't have enough in me to build enough tension and suspense over the course of like a full novel. But so I have the killer in my mind, and I'm just gonna find a way to race to the finish at some point and make it like I don't know 32 pages and put
Just
it
make it
out
like
there.
a little like short story,
Yeah,
little
that's
novella.
that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. Well, I wrote a novelette, which is 10,000 words or less. I wrote a novelette when I was in
Okay.
high school, and it's hot garbage, man. I've gone back and looked at that thing, and it's like, oof, there's some fun ideas here, but man, was I angsty.
Oh yeah. No, you're like, oh, this is real cringe. I don't like this.
Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, what is it? The Wedding Singer. When Adam Sandler is like, I wrote this song and I was really depressed and I was listening to The Cure a lot.
Yeah.
I wrote this short story with a bunch of weird science fiction tropes, and I had. Oh yeah, my wife did say that the 28 page short story I wrote is an excellent short story, and I will agree, it's pretty solid. Now the book that I was writing in high school, it is very indicative of the times. Like, oh, I was like 17 when I wrote this, and I'd probably just gone through like my first high school breakup, and also listening to My Chem, The Used, and Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh
So,
yeah, man. I bet that's a treat to read.
oh, it's I'm gonna at some point, like, I will absolutely embarrass myself by maybe just putting it out on the internet and letting the world tear it apart, not release it under my name.
I mean, you know, you'll put it out there. Someone will
Yeah,
like it,
man.
man.
Yeah, man.
And then
Awesome.
you'll be proud of it because you wrote that.
I
You
did.
know.
I did write that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, so we will be doing this. Like I said at the top of the show, we're going to be doing this every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be workshopping formula and stuff like that, but there will more
Actually, have
than
a
like,
little more structure to the episodes. And, like,
yeah,
have like a designated like talking points. Be like, what
yeah,
came out this week, and
right,
what's like something like spotlight on certain artists, writers, etc. And then talk about movies and things of that nature as they come along. But we got really excited about this, and we're just like, fuck it, we'll just do a live and
yeah.
just kind of shoot from the hip. And this has been a lot of fun. Just kind
Oh
of
my gosh, yes,
just jawing for an hour. I'm here
hell
for
yeah,
it. So,
yeah. So we will be putting this out. Yeah, YouTube Live, Saturdays 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I did mention before I'm working on trying to figure out how to rip the audio and maybe edit a little bit of the ums and uhs that I throw
and a
out.
little bit of the dead air.
Yeah, a little bit of dead air, and then releasing that as an audio podcast for audio listeners. But
Right, and the people that can't make it for the live.
yeah, exactly. But it's also available just to sit down and watch in the background. If you have YouTube Premium, you can just listen to it with your phone closed. I don't know who pays for YouTube Premium, but people might. Yeah, I did.
do.
I had the free trial, and then it was like, hey, do you want to keep paying for this? I'm like, not really. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have any need to.
I almost like exclusively watch YouTube now. Like I have to get multiple recommendations from multiple people to watch like network shows now.
Yeah.
I have Paramount Plus and I use it really just to watch Ninja Turtles. at this
Oh,
point.
dude, did you see? Okay, speaking of Ninja Turtles, I was gonna text you about it when I saw it earlier, but I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm talking to him tonight. They are doing a Last Ronin video game.
Yep, I saw that, and
Yep.
it's gonna be God of War style,
Yep.
like
THQ
like
Nordic is
30,
putting it
yeah.
out. I am so.
I'm here for it.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna buy
hyped.
it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm not even a huge video game person, but I'm a big Turtles fan.
yeah,
so
I know you
I'm
are.
here
I
for
know
that.
you are, man. We have not seen Mutant Mayhem yet. We're probably gonna take the boy to see it. Probably
good.
maybe
It's real
maybe next
good.
weekend we'll take him to see it. My wife she's not nearly as big as you, but she's a huge Turtles fan. Like the movies from the '90s are her favorite forms of cheese, and I love it, man. Go Turtles, go Turtles, go! But also, just to let everybody know, we do have an email address. It is boywonderspod@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, if you have anything you want us to talk about. If you've got any suggestions, please, by all means,
Yeah.
shoot us an email.
Constructive criticism.
Yep, yep.
Deconstructive
Yeah, I
criticism.
mean,
If you want
you
to
know,
be mean, you can say that too. It's fine. We'll
yeah,
read it.
but if you are mean to us, we will read it live on the air for the world to hear,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we will send our people for kneecaps.
All day. No
No,
violence.
no, we don't. Yeah, the only violence we like is in comic book form. So
100%.
thank you all so much for being here with us. I have been Trevor,
I'm Dan.
and we are the Boy Wonders. We will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
See you next time, true believers.
Oh, rest in peace.